Hello, my name is Lynda Phippen. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Ontario, Canada. So glad you dropped by and Happy New Year. I have a few cards to show you today that have a theme of Valentine's Day, which will be coming up shortly. So let's just get started and I hope you enjoy. Sweet Conversations. That's the name of the stamp set that we are going to be using tonight. And the card that I have is also made with this bouquet of love. And this is a hybrid die that will emboss and cut a heart in the middle if you wish. Or you can take that out and just have the heart like that. So the first card I've taken the die out, and the next card I've left die in, so I'll show you how that works. And I've also combined some of the dies that go with the bouquet of love as well. So here's the card, and it's a fun fold, opens in the middle, and these here are all the dies. And this one here is the punch that is a double layer, which is one of those keepsakes that will never go out. So this was a pretty easy and quick card, and I did use the DSP from the Celebration. You can see the marble part of it on the inside, so that turned out nicely, and vellum on the heart. So the card itself, the dimensions will be on the description. So it is folded on each end, and just give it a little extra tender loving care there. So when I put this through the embossing folder, this is what, of course, it would look like without being cut. And I put it through our cutting and I guess it's embossing. So I cut it to the top of the heart and to the bottom. And then I just fussy cut this part, so that way the heart can overlap, and when you open the card, it opens as well. So that is how that works. The detail on this embossing folder is so pretty. So we'll put the first part on. I'll let that dry, and then we'll get the second part on. And I've done it again. Go ahead of myself because I wanted a layer of DSP on there. So let's put the DSP on. And I used the subtle marble part. So there we go. That's what you do first. Get ahead of myself. And then there's the other piece of DSP, which is the exact same size. And now, I'll just put a little bit more glue on this one. Now that goes on. The glue, when it's left on, you can't get it off, but if you're really quick, you can save your mistakes. Okay, so what I did was I folded it so that I can line it up exactly without getting glue on it. So just double check that it covers itself, yeah? And while I'm doing the gluing, I hate to cover up this pretty paper on this side, but I did want this. Well, that looks like that needs a little trimming. Okay, well, we'll pretend it's trimmed already. Although that is putting the piece so that it will not. You know, it really doesn't matter how many times you practice. There's always something that goes off a little bit. Okay, there we go. Back on track. So then I've got the vellum, which you can see the design on there. And I have my vellum tape. No, that's not the vellum tape. This is the vellum tape. And we'll just put that on. It really adds a nice little touch there. Then I have, here, let's do the inside first. So I used the punch for the middle. So we'll get that in the center. You can write your I love you or whatever you want. So I put the larger one at the top, centered it, and then I put this here. And the nice thing about these dies is that you can see how it punches out the outline, but then you keep all of the inside for a shaker card or to add to your cards. It's so much fun. Okay, so we've done that. And then these go on each side. So I just put that on quickly. One on. Well, actually, I think I put these ones on here. Did I get that in time? Yes, I did. Look at that. Good thing I didn't glue that one down. Okay, so put that on there. And then I added a few hearts. Whoops. A few pink hearts. And I only used pink on this card. So I put one up here, one down here, and no red ones on this card. And then I just put one on the heart here. And that is almost our card. So the sentiment that comes with it is Happy Valentine's Day. And what I did for that is I put dimensions on just half of it. And I put 3 on, but 3 is too many. So I put 2. And then for all us thrifty people, we use the whole sheet, and I just used a half. And that way it can fold over on the card. And still open Oh, look at that. I did it. Then the pearls is what I thought would look so nice on this card. So I used nice big ones so they would show up. And we've got 3 big ones and 2 medium-sized ones. So I'll put one there and one on the sentiment. And that is our first card. And I thought it turned out quite nice. You kind of lose, so let me see if I get a little closer so you can see the embossing on it. It's very pretty. Very pretty. So I hope you like that one. So that's the first card. Now, when I mentioned that you can emboss the whole thing on our embossing folder, and what a hybrid embossing folder is that it can do more than one thing. So on this card, I cut it out with the die in the middle of the embossing folder. Now this stamp is a hostess stamp in the celebration, I believe. But you can use any, because I've done two cards where I did that, where I cut out the heart in the middle and still use the embossing. So really, the options are endless, and you'll recognize this DSP from last year, and I wanted black, and I found it. This is the little envelope, which is this die here, and you simply just fold it without all the glue on your hands there. Fold it, and I just put regular Stampin' seal on it because I put a heart on it, so it really didn't matter if you could see it through it. So that is really cute. So that is kind of 2 bonus cards, and I just kept going, so I won't show you everything, but those are, so there's 3 cards that are basically the same. Then I had fun with the awesome Otters. Now, I did get this idea from Pinterest, but not with the Otters, but with various other animals that we've had, stamping animals, and just made some heart balloons. So I thought it was kind of cute, and I stamped the otter with the fish, covered the fish up with hearts, and said, "You are utterly awesome." So happy Valentine's Day, which is the same stamp. So don't be hesitant about using the slimline cards. They look a little overwhelming in size, but you can do so much with them, and it is quite fun when you've got like I made the balloons bigger. So what I did was I just cut some twine, and doesn't matter what size you make them, because of course you can cut it afterwards, so don't cut your card. So I had in my mind that I was going to do this ahead of time, but as you can see, I didn't. So anyway, I've got 5 pieces of twine. I just tied it, and then I cut them all even, so it looked like I measured them perfectly. And these ones here I didn't cut completely because you don't know exactly where you're going to put your balloons until you get them on there. So we've got our inside of our card, and I stamped the otter. And doesn't he look like he's just wanting to hold those balloons? So I used the black just so you could make sure that you get to see his nose and all the detail. There he is. And I used a glue dot to get the strings on, and I'm going to put a couple on because you don't want them to come off. Okay. And before we do that, we should color it. So I did use crumb cake. I found the darker crumb cake was too dark for its body, so I used the light crumb cake for his body and the petal pink for his little belly. And don't be afraid to color, because it really does, these markers are very forgiving, and they look great. Okay, so this is the soft light petal pink, but when you put it on, it doesn't look pink. And it will lighten up. So then I took the dark, and that's when I just did some little bit of shading, just where you think you would see some shading. And under his arms. And I don't like to do too much because I'm always afraid that I'm going to do too much. So there we go. We've got the layers of string on. I just flattened them out the best that I could. And of course, they're just not going to cooperate. Okay, so I have 6 strings. Well, clearly can't count. So then I put, what I wanted to do is to catch the strings. So I've got some adhesive dimensions here. And make sure that you catch the string. So there we've got one. And again, just catch the string. And you know, I'm going to cut one of these off, because you know how we like to have uneven numbers. So there we go. Gone. Okay, so we've got another big one here. And again, catching the string. 2 more. And then one little one here. again, before I do that, I'm just going to snip inside here to get rid of the top parts. So you see what I mean when I said, like, we'll just leave the strings on until you know. And why did that happen? I'm not sure. Oh, I see, because he let go of his... He let go. Can't let go. There we go. And then we use one last string up here for the little one. And it's okay if they overlap. And you can actually add a few more balloons in, or hearts in, just to kind of fill it in and make it look like we have a few very tiny ones. Maybe just one more on this side. There we go. Our sentiment, Happy Valentine's Day. So I just lined up the Valentine and happy on the above. And I found these resin hearts, and I put some of the white ones in the middle of the red balloons. And then we could have a couple of these red ones down here. After we straighten up happy. There we go. And we'll just glue this on. And as I said, that's what I did for the little guy with the fish, is just covered his little fish up with some hearts for the inside. And that is another Valentine's card. So I hope you liked these cards, and I'll leave pictures of those as well. But these are the two cards that we put together, and I think they're kind of cute. This one's a little classy, that one's a little cute. And hope you have a great day, and thank you for dropping by and for your subscriptions and your kind comments. And this is video number 50, which has been a challenge that I've enjoyed doing. So it is a learning process, but you know, there's nothing that we can't do if we put our minds to it. So anyway, thanks again for dropping by, and we will see you again shortly. Bye for now.